It is Thursday, SoCal Smackdown, man. I am happy to be on this show today. 4:30, powered by the Stables Media. I'm happy to have my co-host Dante Powell, the great Joe Madden. We'll get to you guys in a second, but Dante, I got to get to you, man. Look at this weather we're having in Southern California, brother. 85 degrees out here in sunny San Diego. What's it out in Long Beach, brother? Yeah, it's hot there too, I think. I love technology. Just so everybody knows, this whole, and we're going to talk about the show, this whole deal about the Zooming and the streaming and the internet is, I don't know if they're getting rich and rich and richer because I watch my kids do Zoom and schooling. And I think we talked about this and we talked about Dante is I think they're better watching Sesame Street than they are actually doing a Zoom school, especially the younger age, 5, 6, 7, because there's no continuity, there's no structure. And I'm not knocking the teachers out there because I know how hard it is as a teacher because I have a lot of friends out there that are teachers. But the fact of the matter is, they're better off doing like a live video, recording it,
Yeah.
and sending it out to the parents and having the parents sit there and have it one-on-one with them, say, hey, this is what you're doing. Because my Luca Bear, I've got 3 little ones. He spent a half an hour today hearing kids say, hey, stop picking your nose, turn your mute button on. And then once everybody's together, all of a sudden it started all over again. It's like, wow. Anyways, guys, I want to, you know what? First of all, I want to send out a couple shout outs to one of our new shows that came on last night, Joe. Miss Stephanie, Pondering Mics, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. She's new to the Stables Media family. I've known her for a long time, but she had a knockout, hit it out of the park, baseball theme show. We're very proud of her. I know you listen to the show, and I know you've got some comments about it, so I'll turn it over to you.
I love the show. Stephanie, congratulations on that. It was a great show. It was inspiring. It made you think a lot. And some really positive comments came out of that. Talking about body image is hard. We all struggle so much. Even, I loved her comment about J-Lo's on a beach and she's looking at the girl walking down the beach and what she's thinking about. And you know what? As women, we tend to do this. And I don't know if men do too. We look at those negatives and we pull it out. And I think it's what we do not like in ourselves. So we see something in someone else and we're like, oh, okay, she has big arms too. Something I'm self-conscious of my arms. I look at other people and yeah. So I know we do it.
We talked about this in a little bit greater detail. Obviously, you got to listen to SoCal Smackdown with Team R.P.M. Myself, the great Dante Powell. He's having a little technical difficulty right now. He'll be on, and the great, lovely Joe Madden from YYC. I am in sunny San Diego studios in the backyard of Casa de Sarducci, I call it. You can see my piñatas, but this is our little oasis. Unfortunately, we are still on lockdown here. We cannot even go to a studio. We cannot even go to visit Vince or anybody. And Stephanie's close by too. I can't even do a show with her if we wanted to right now. But going back to what you were talking about, and to let everybody know, at the top of the hour, we've got NFL alumni. We're trying to figure it out. We're going to let him go. We're going to let the secret out. He'll do it, but he played for the NFL, Eric Child. So we appreciate that. You guys can see it at the bottom of your screen scrolling. And also, we're sponsored by Vigit App, guys, VIGIT. Download that app. It is a social media platform for sports enthusiasts. Again, VIGIT. Use Stables promo code, and we'll get credit for it, and you guys will enjoy it. You'll see Joe, myself, other people, Lady D, Cammie, a lot of guys on there, Basu, talking about it. But not only that, it's about 30,000, 40,000 people that are actually on that social media platform. Now, that being said, football weekend, we had some crazy games, Joe.
Okay, let's just jump to the game everyone wants to talk about. Brady versus Breeze.
Oh, I want to talk about the pass game first.
I don't like going back in the past. Which game are we going to talk about? There's been a million games, and I had a hard weekend.
I like to talk about my. It was a bad weekend. It was a bad week because a lot of the favorites didn't cover. Thank God Pittsburgh came back in the second half, even though they lost, but they covered the spread and the over. So that for the people that are out there that are betting. But I was actually shocked again, and I know to a lot of people they weren't, but I was shocked, and we talked about this on our SoCal, on our Tuesday show. That Dante coming back in. Dante, Big D, thanks for coming back in. But on Tuesday's show, we were talking about the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I didn't think they were going to sit there and have a show up. I mean, especially against Seattle. I thought Seattle with Russell Wilson, I thought he was due for a breakout game. But man, you talk about laying a goose egg, and it's not a golden one. It happened.
No, they schooled Seattle. It was horrible to watch when I had Seattle to cover the spread, and they didn't even win the game. I was blown away by that. But you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not a big Seattle fan. So to see them kicked out, the Rams to go ahead, it's kind of half one, half a dozen of the others. So,
Dante.
Yeah, man, it was kind of interesting. I remember when we talked, my first inclination, I was kind of to go with the Rams, but, I couldn't bet against, my man, Mr. Wilson over there for Seattle. He just had a track record of winning. So I think, we all, put our money on our experience, but we also forgot that they are the number one defense in the league. And we also forgot that, at times, Goff doesn't, he will not show up. Just perhaps this last week he showed up just enough to win. So, I think they have confidence going into next week's game. I think they're going to be really tough to beat. But, we'll see.
You know what? We'll go into the games that are coming this weekend. But the other surprise that I thought, actually, it wasn't a surprise in my eyes because we talked about that on our Tuesday show. That's Amore with Gallo and Lady D, Lisa Diaz. But Cleveland, I thought they were hungry, man. A lot of people, say, well, they played, the last game against Pittsburgh. It was, they didn't play. They played their second string. That's why they won. But you know what? They had that taste and they wanted to win. And I really think, and I know this weekend we'll go into that, Joe, before we bring Eric in at the top of the hour. But I think right now they're hungry. They want to win. They don't want to sit there and lose that ride they're on. What do you think?
Well, aren't they going up against KC this weekend? Yeah. So I don't know what to say. Can they beat Mahomes? I don't think so. Would I like to see it happen? Absolutely. I'd love to see it happen, but I don't think it will. I think KC's too powerful for the Browns. I think the Steelers came out. The Steelers played terrible. There was half the game. I was sitting there shaking my head at what was happening. Big Ben couldn't get a pass to Juju Smith to save his life. It was fall apart game. I don't know. I don't think they can beat KC, but I would love them to. So that's end of the day.
Dante.
Well, you know what? Right now, I'm going to put the Browns. They went out and defeated a good, Pittsburgh Steelers team. That game, I kind of saw, a little bit different, coming into the third game. But playing, Patrick Mahomes and, the Kansas City Chiefs, that's just a whole nother level. So I don't know defensively if they could show them offensively. If anything, there's going to be a lot of points scored on the Cleveland Browns side to win this ball game.
Okay, so let me go into this, and we'll go into this game that's coming up this weekend. The Kansas City playing the Chiefs. Obviously, I don't think weather is going to be a factor because you've got the Browns that are a cold weather team anyways. So you're playing Browns and Chiefs in Kansas City. I misspoke before on that. But, they're -10, I believe, right now is the point spread. And I'm looking at -10 against a team, a playoff team, which has a great defense. And if, like you said, Joe and Dante, if they can get to Patrick Mahomes and stir him up, and again, I don't like, and we talked about this, I don't like a team that has a bye going into a team that is hot. You know, what do you think, Joe? Do you think there's a chance that they may have the ones that they beat up?
Yeah, I don't like the bye. I think the bye, they lose momentum if they're winning. So I definitely think that is a plus for the Browns coming into this. But I don't know, you guys. I think if they had not just beat the Steelers, if we were looking at a regular season game, what would the Browns be against the Chiefs? I think they'd be -12 or +12 for the Browns. I think the Chiefs cover it. I think it's a 2-touchdown game.
Ooh. Dante.
You know, it's kind of funny. The Cleveland Browns this year, they kind of remind me of that old New York Coughlin New York Giants team. You know, they weren't supposed to win. They got in the wild card, and you know they just pulled it together in the playoffs, and they ended up having a dynamic playoff, and they went to the Super Bowl. I don't know about winning the Super Bowl, but perhaps getting to the Super Bowl. So this week, I mean, it's crazy that I'm going to say it, but I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns for the upset.
You heard it here first. SoCal Smackdown by the great Dante Powell, ex San Francisco Giants. You know what? I got to go with him. I don't know. You know, Joe, I have to sit there and I like that. And I like the points, obviously, the spread in the playoff game. But I kind of have to agree with Dante on that. I want to do a couple shout outs real quick. We've got a lot of people that are watching. Kelly, thank you very much. Our partner in crime on our Tuesday show, Mike Gallo.
Hi, Gallo.
How are you, my friend? Mike Gallo, that's Amore with Lisa Diaz, ex MLB player himself. We got one of our greatest fans, followers, family. I can say more about this gentleman. I met him. He's done tremendous things for my kids, my family, for Vince, for Stables Media. But David Andrews, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling better. I hope your mom is doing well, and your brother. We love you. Kelly, thank you very much for listening. One of the things that we want to do now, guys, we are powered by Stables Media. We are always streaming live on our Facebook page, personal page, Facebook page, Stables Media Facebook page, and also live on YouTube, Stables Media Network. So if you missed the show, it'll be archived on those pages, or you can go to YouTube, and we're also going to be going on to probably another dozen different platforms. So stick with us, guys. We truly appreciate all your support, listeners and followers from coast to coast and across this great nation. So that being said, let's talk about my guys, which I think we talked about Rams saying that, you know, they came up and they beat Seattle, but can they beat Buffalo? I'm going to bring it right out there. I think the game of the week right here, it's going to be a complete blowout. It's going to be the Rams and Buffalo. I think Buffalo just blows them out. I can't believe the spread's it's actually gone down. It was starting, I think, at 3. It's down to 2. So it's kind of funny how people are taking the Rams on this. I don't know why, but Joe, what's your take?
The Bills all the way. I wouldn't even think twice. This isn't even a question. The Bills are a way better team than the Rams. And I think the Rams lucked out playing Seattle. Seattle had so many holes the other game. I just don't see it happening, especially when I thought Seattle was going to win last week. I don't see the Rams taking the Bills by any chance. Dante, what are you thinking?
Gonna get Dante right back here. Here he is. Big D, what's your take?
Well, it's kind of interesting. Yep, it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting that this game is a really, really good matchup. You know, you look number one. I really can't put anything behind you go back in history, okay? You've never seen a number one defense, okay, not lose or not in the Super Bowl. Okay, it's really atypical or not typical to see a great defense not in the Super Bowl. And you can go back in history and look at all the Super Bowl championship teams. They always had usually the top three defensive in the league, period. Rams are number one. Okay, these guys are playing phenomenal. They're coming from everywhere. And this Donald guy that's holding down the middle, Mr. Number 99, guy is special. And he has some guys to go with him, especially their DBs. So I don't know, when you talk about how the Bills are going to come in and just whopple these guys, I definitely think that's not going to happen. On the opposite side, I do think that the Rams actually win this game.
Okay, let me jump in first of all because I misspoke. Rams are playing the Packers, and I was talking about the Ravens. The Ravens actually playing the Bills, and I can see now why. And I with all this stuff that's going on in the world, guys, I apologize. Are my fault.
Let me.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, last but not least, you guys, God played in a Super Bowl. So this is not new territory for him.
Oh, that was a snooze fest. Don't even go there. That was a boring game.
Though it's not magnified like, TV with the crowd. It's magnified in an athlete's mind, going out there on the field, knowing that he's in the position.
He played in a snooze fest. That wasn't a Super Bowl. I don't even know what that was. That was the worst Super Bowl I think I've seen in history.
I have to say the same thing. And again, guys, I misspoke when we were talking about the Rams are playing the Packers. Packers are favored by 6.5. Ravens are playing the Bills. That I think is going to be a tougher game, but I still believe the Bills.
I don't know in that matchup.
It's a tough game, but I think Bills. I think like I was saying, Bills are. They didn't have a bye. They won their division. They didn't have a bye, so they've gone in there. They got the taste now. They want to get back. So I think that's one of those games. Tough game to bet. The one that I was talking about getting blown out, and I have to sit there and go back now, is the Rams Packers. I think the Packers are going to sit there and blow out the Rams. I think minus 6.5. Started at 7.5, gone down, but I think 6.5. So I misspoke on that. Sorry about that happens. That's the great things about a live show. Your mind goes 100 miles an hour.
And here I thought I was wrong. I was like, damn, I've capped that game wrong for the last week. But looking at Aaron Rodgers at home, there's something incredible about Aaron Rodgers at home. He just comes alive. Fans or no fans, he does amazing. I do not bet against Aaron Rodgers at home. It hits like 60-something% of the time.
Dante? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For any lip readers out there, this is perfect.
Yeah, once again, knowing that who the Rams played, it's once again, you have the number one defense playing the Packers, and if the Rams win, they're going to the Super Bowl, period. Wow. Same thing. Nothing's changed.
Wow, that's a big statement right there. Okay, let's talk about the Saints and the Bucks. I know Joe's favorite quarterback. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, he's growing on me. Brady is growing on me. At the end of the day, I can't hate him anymore. He actually wins me money this season. So it's making me smile a little bit. It's the Patriots that screw me. I worked out. But in this matchup, I don't know. I'm really, really on the fence. We have Drew Brees. It's his last year for sure. I think he's going into broadcasting. He's not going to be playing anymore. Brady, I don't know if he'll play again. I don't know who's hungrier between the two quarterbacks. This is going to be an unbelievable game. I think the over could hit in this game. I think both quarterbacks put up some amazing passes. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. And will I bet it? I'm not going to bet this game. I just want to enjoy it and have a lot of fun.
Big dog. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the Bucks do suck. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like the Lionesses kind of scared this week. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna put my money. I'm gonna put my money where it is, and I like Drew Brees, man. But I tell you what, that Brady just a situation, and he has something to prove. So I think it's a high scoring game, and I'm gonna put my money with Brady. And if you lose the Breeze, then hell, okay, so be it.
Okay, let me get to a question that was asked on one of our shows, and then also on this part here. You've got Breeze, Rodgers, um, the one that you love, Joe.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, no, the other one, Philip Rivers, and then you've got our man from the Bucks there, the one that played for New England for so many years. Four of the probably premier quarterbacks that we've probably seen um, in a long time. And is it coming to an end? I mean, is it really the time, that we're going to see the new young blood? Is it going to be as exciting as it was with Rodgers and even, the Manning brothers? And I know Peyton hasn't played, but Eli had played a little bit here in the last couple of years. But, you sit there and see these big quarterbacks now. They stayed a long time and it made a big difference to the game. Does that take the finesse out of the game? We'll go to Joe on this, and then we'll go to Dante afterwards.
I don't think so. I think we have these young hot rookies coming up. They're doing incredible. You look at my quarterback, Herbert, and he's amazing. He is doing absolutely unbelievable. He's already broken so many records. I think we have so many of these guys that are great. They're changing the game. They play different. They get outside of that pocket a lot more. A lot of these quarterbacks, they use their legs a lot more. I think it is a different style, but it's fun and it's great. And they're going to have a great run. And we're going to be talking about this in 10 years, where they're going. So I see it.
Big dog, give me your take. Yeah. Yeah, they were great quarterbacks. You're right. Mhm. No, I don't want to see him lose. I don't want to lose him. No. I think if we do, it's going to be a tough time for the game.
Yeah, it always changes. We went from Joe Montana to Tom Brady. Now we go from Brady to Patrick Mahomes. That's how the transition is, and it's it's really wonderful to see the transition. And what's also wonderful to see. I tell you what else is wonderful to see is these old guys keeping and maintaining and playing. I mean, absolutely excellent football. To where these younger guys can't take their jobs. That's bottom line because they're still performing at a high level. So this is the first time you're going to see Drew Brees and Tom, guys their age, play against each other. And I think that's rather a phenomenal, part of history, especially in the NFL. So, I hope and pray these guys can play for an extra 3, 4, and 5 years.
Well, it is pretty incredible when you look at it that way. You have these young quarterbacks coming up. They idolize Tom Brady. They grew up watching Tom Brady, and now they're going against Tom Brady. Like, I don't even know how that must be for their heads. Dante, you would know as an athlete, but I have no clue. I never played at a level like you guys. That must just be totally the greatest thing, but the most nerve-wracking thing at the same time is how I would look at it.
Yeah. No, yeah, the childhood heroes. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I agree 100%. I have a question here. I mean, we were talking about quarterbacks and getting out of the pocket. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, when you're their age, you're playing off of a lot of experience, which is a beautiful thing. You don't have to, use your athletic ability as much.
Yeah, you have to use your God-given talent, right? Yeah, I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with the airwaves right now because of the hot weather here we have in sunny California. So Dante being in Long Beach, myself in San Diego, it just, I guess it's melting the lines out. We're hot, man. SoCal Smackdown, hot, baby. While we get Dante back here, I wanted to pose this question. I know you can hear me. I want to pose this question about, you're talking about the younger generation getting out of the pocket, running around. Remember, we had a quarterback. Obviously, he had his day and he came back. But Michael Vick, he was one of those hot quarterbacks, sit there and get out of the pocket type deal, run. But he got hurt a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even though his situation with what happened with, his the dog stuff, that's beside the point. But hell of an athlete. But when he was running, he got hurt. So when you get hurt like that, Joe, your career doesn't last as long as a Ben or a Peyton Manning or a Drew Brees or even a Philip Rivers. So I mean, how does that come into play when you're talking about the young quarterbacks running around coming out of the pocket? They get hit once, man, from these guys, and these guys, you've seen them. These guys don't hit like, oh, it's a quarterback. We're just gonna sit there and he's out of pocket. We're gonna push him out. They knock your ass out, man.
You know what? But they've changed the rules so much on hitting that quarterback. The defensive players, especially last season, they were almost penalized as soon as they touched them. So I look at it, I think that quarterback is just as protected outside of the pocket because these defensive players are scared to hit them and get that 15-yard penalty. These quarterbacks, they're not getting attacked like they would if they were running back. So they can get out of that pocket and they can get that 5-10 yards because the defensive players don't know how to handle the situation with the new rules. Back when Mike Vick was playing, they didn't have these rules and they weren't able to hit, like they were able to hit the quarterback harder as soon as he got outside that pocket. Not anymore. I think it's changed. I think the quarterback is still super protected. Yes, there is issues. Like when Mahomes last year got his knee hurt and he was hit jumping over top there. That is risky. That is so risky putting your quarterback in that situation. You have how many guys all jumping into the same area? I think a coach should never put a star quarterback like Mahomes in there. Well, any quarterback in that position. So there's different things, but I really think the rules are protecting the quarterbacks way more than they used to when Michael Vick was playing.
Oh, I agree with you. But I think what happens too is the quarterbacks are taking the extra risk. They're fast, they're quick, so they know if they get out of the pocket, they can run for it. They're now becoming a running back rather than a quarterback, and they can run for 10, 15. And sometimes they know they get to 10, they're trying to get that extra 5 yards, and that's when they get hurt. Is that extra 2-3 yards? They don't know when to go down. It's not worth. You got the first down, or you got 90% of the yards that you need. Don't go for that extra 2 yards because that's when you usually get hurt. Let me ask you. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, you don't see the quarterback sliding as much either. You saw Lamar go and get that huge touchdown last weekend, but then you also saw Josh Allen just dive and roll over. As a coach, I would be freaking out that my quarterback was doing that, because if he goes out, the game's done. So they have to be careful, and I think the coaches really need to talk about protecting themselves more.
Well, I think what happens too is that these young kids, they're used to playing in college and even in the high school level, where they want to be the star all the time. And a quarterback in this day and age, you're getting paid a boatload of money, and you know what? You got to get protected. You can't sit there and put yourself out there. It's bad enough if one of these guys hits you, and these guys come at you, man. I've seen some of the hits. I'm like, wow, but they come back up, and these guys are unbelievable. They're in great shape. That being said, let me ask you this. Pittsburgh got their ass whooped this weekend. Obviously a lot of errors. Roethlisberger had a great game per se in yards and TD. But one of the guys on the Pittsburgh team said they had a bad loss. It was by Chase Claypool. He told everyone that the Browns are going to get clapped. And I don't really care about the Browns getting beat or not beat or whatever. I'm looking at this as what kind of sportsmanship is someone like this saying that about another team that basically embarrassed your team on national TV in a playoff game, and now you're saying because you lost that the other team is going to get their ass clapped by the other team. Is that something that we want to sit there and teach our kids and the people that are growing, the college students, the high school students, or anyone that's in the matter of that? Is that something that we want to teach them?
No, absolutely not. And it's sad that he went out and said this. He should take it like a man at the end of the day and be like, okay, we lost, and not put them down like that. It's sad to see. I didn't like that. I lost a little bit of respect for him over that.
I'm gonna do this because at the top of the hour we got Eric in the green room right now. We got Dante back in. I want to ask that question to Dante and Eric because I think them playing ball and being around ball players, it makes a big deal. So Joe, I'm gonna bring him in, but you do the introduction.
No, you introduce him. Introduce Eric. You're so good at introducing people. Come on.
What the hell? I'll introduce him. Eric, he wants me to introduce you, man. Eric, how are you, my friend? Eric Child. Thank you for coming in, brother.
Good. I appreciate it. Thank you. Everything's all good.
We appreciate you coming on. Again, my apologies today for the picture that I posted that was the wrong one. Hey, you know what? It happens, dude. I've done worse, Eric.
It's all good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Dante, I'm going to post this question. Eric, we were talking about this before Dante lost connection. In the Pittsburgh game, you had Chase Claypool talk about how the Browns are going to get their ass clapped this week. They don't even have a chance. Pittsburgh had a bad loss. Very simple. They lost. By him saying
that was frustration talking. That's all that was. It was unfortunately, he displayed himself as a sore loser right there, and that should have been displayed. You lost, man, and it is what it is.
Absolutely. Dante, what's your take on that? Is that something that our kids should be, obviously they're watching, they're looking on social media. I mean, here you are, you lost, man. Don't be a sore loser. Shake their hand, say, hey, next year's next year.
Dante's a little frozen, Eric. We're having issues with him.
I don't know. Today it's hot out here, Eric. It's 90 degrees in California.
I'll take that. We got up to about 50 today.
Oh, nice.
Let me get you guys on. I'm going to bring this in, and we got some comments. Dante, can you hear us well now? Well, once we get him back in, Eric, tell us a little bit about you. We'll start. Just start us off, and then we'll start going. Joe and myself and Dante will start finding out some questions. We'll get people involved that are on StreamYard. By the way, you're powered by Stables Media. Again, thank you very much for coming on. It was it's a pleasure. So take it away, man. It's yours.
Eric Childs. I'm born and raised in New Jersey, Newark to be exact. the South Ward section of Newark. And it's crazy because I never wanted to play football. I never wanted to play football. I just wanted to actually be a chef and
Wow.
a sports,
Yeah.
yeah, and a sports commentator. But it kind of took off for me at a young age. Just playing like regular street ball with the guys. And then I played Pop Warner. Like I was raw. I didn't know nothing about rules or nothing. I just knew I could catch, I could run. I knew nothing about rules. And I played Pop Warner, and it just kind of took off from there. But funny thing about it, I only played 2 years of high school.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I only played 2 years. I played my sophomore and my junior year. That was it.
So
Wow. Incredible.
sorry, did you? So I mean, you said it wasn't something that you were actually, planning on doing. I mean, you played your
Yeah.
sophomore and junior year. You got recruited. You went to obviously a college and played ball in college, and then obviously
so-
got drafted.
Yeah, so let me tell you the story about that. So like I loved playing Pop Warner. You know what I mean? So I played Pop Warner. I was a freshman in high school playing Pop Warner, and the school I went to wasn't the best in football. So it was like I really didn't care. So but I played my sophomore year and my junior year, but my senior year I got hurt in a scrimmage. I broke my leg and was out for the whole season. So
Wow.
with that, a lot of schools kind of like backed off with scholarship offers and stuff like that because I missed my whole year. So I ended up going to JUCO, then I ended up transferring.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing. I can't believe you missed that whole senior year.
Yeah,
That must have been tough.
yeah, it was rough because I'm sitting there watching the rest of the guys play, and we're losing to teams by like 6, 7, 3, 8, and things like that. So I know I would have probably had my first playoff run in school, but it was all right. I recovered back and I played basketball, so I was all right.
So you're a good basketball player as well, all-round athlete then?
Yeah, I was decent. The only reason I played basketball was honestly to stay in shape. I never wanted to I'm nice. I want to play basketball, whatever like that. So the coach, he kept hounding me, and I just ended up playing my junior and senior year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, Eric. I had no clue that you played basketball as well. Pretty impressive. So tell me about the rest of your journey into football.
So I went to JUCO. I went down to Montgomery College in Maryland, where we also had another NFL alum that played with me there, Maurice Hicks. Played for the 49ers, played for the Bears, played for the Vikings. That's my boy. I just spoke to him about 2 weeks ago. And Mo. And then from there, I went 1 year to the University of Maryland. So it's again, it gets interesting because I kind of say I think at that point in time I kind of lost a little love for the game. Coming from where I'm coming from Jersey, I was the man. So not coming down to Maryland at a JUCO, not everybody's the man. Now I gotta have competition, and it was just like at some point it was like, I really don't even care. So that's how I felt about it. I'm like, I really don't want to care. I don't care. I do some sports casting or whatever. But I end up leaving. And I kind of came in an unusual way. I came in the back door in the supplementary draft. So I never went through the first round, second round, none of that, never got drafted or anything like that. I kind of, snuck in the back door, me being from Jersey and all the local teams, Jets, Giants, Eagles, you kind of get a shot with them being at your local. And that's how it went.
So how? Because we've had some guys ask, how long did you actually play? I mean, you played for the Jets.
Yeah, I played 2 seasons. The first season was up under Al Groh, 9-7 squad up under Al Groh. Vinny Testaverde was the quarterback, and I didn't get that much playing time. Practice squad, then I was released. The next year, Herm Edwards came in. That was the 10-16. Herm came in, Santana Moss first year, and we was all there. So again, it was like I didn't get a lot of PT. I tried to hone myself on special teams. If you can't make it at your position, you just try special teams. So I tried to do that. which a high ankle sprain. It just put me out. It was bad to the point where they said I was better off breaking it because it's going to take that long to heal. So that's how that journey went, and I got kind of down on myself and had to hit the reset button and think about something else.
Absolutely. So you're still doing work with the Jets. I see you on all of your social media, on the sidelines. What are you actually doing with them?
Well, with them, I was doing game day operations with them. I was doing game day operations for 2 years, and I was doing that. I had interns up under me and everything, but I kind of like branched off and I wanted to do my own thing and get my own thing going. And so I got involved with the NFLPA, NFL Alumni Association, met some great guys through the New York, New Jersey chapter where I'm at right now. And kind of started doing a lot of charity stuff. And that's what I really think I'm built for. I love doing the charity stuff, community stuff. Right now, that's where I'm at with it.
Oh, I love it. I love seeing your charity work you're doing as well. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so right now I'm wearing a shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's EC20, which is my initials and my number. So EC, besides that being my name, Eric Childs, it also means every child. So with me being 11 years in law enforcement, that's another thing. I was 11 years in law enforcement at football. Yeah. So I worked inside the jail. I worked in juvenile detention.
Oh wow.
And I see some of the things that those guys go through, some of the struggles and some of the positions that they put in, between the rock and the hard place where they some of them had no choice. You know what I mean? I'm not condoning it, but some of them, they had no choice or whatever. And I want to help. And what I'm doing now is I'm actually a couple of guys from the Alumni Association with me. We're going to link up and we're going to start like a Big Brother program where we're going to visit the jail probably once to twice a month and, quote unquote, adopt a resident, So my main goal is to have at least 2 NFL teams adopt these young juveniles when they get out and start adapting to the environment.
What a great idea.
Maybe they can offer an internship down the line or something like that. Just, something else for them to see rather than the streets and getting into the things that they're into. So that's what I'm working on now.
Let me see if I can get Dante. Dante, can you? I don't know if your mic's working. Can you get a question out?
He's a complete statue right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's having.
So yeah, so that's what I'm working on now. And besides that, I did other things. I did the back to school giveaways, book bags and supplies and stuff. I donated a check from the league to a battered women's association, and that's what I'm into right now. That's all I'm into.
Well, we got a couple comments coming in here through StreamYard. It says Terrence Foster, looking forward to having you with the Fight Family Take Flight 2021. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so let me touch on that. So after I was done playing, so I had to, I tried to get myself together. I played a little arena football myself, and that's when I went into law enforcement as a backup plan. So I seen it actually happened yesterday. I seen Terrence post yesterday. They actually signed somebody. So I said, let me see what's going on. I hit him up. He welcomed me with open arms. Gave me a couple options, and yeah, I'm all in. That's fam now. So shout out to Terrence Foster. Shout out to the New Jersey flight and everything like that. So that's what we going with it. And just let me plug this real quick.
Go ahead.
Actually open up. Let me look at my notes because my memory ain't the best. April 5th, the NAL National Arena.
I don't know if you can hear me.
We, the New Jersey flight, we open up in Ontario, California. We open up against the Ontario Bandits. So we will be out there in April. Yeah.
Well, hey, Aaron, we're out in this neck of the woods. Dante, myself, a couple of other hosts that we have down here. So you know what? You're family, man. You'll come down here. We'll sit there and treat you well. Dante, I don't know if I know we're having some technical difficulties. Can you get a question out? I don't know if you can hear us.
That's coming in so slow.
Yeah, I just think there's. You know what? and there's no fault of his. It's just with everybody being on Zoom right now and everybody being on the internet, it's just everything is at a minute pace. I had to upgrade mine, Joe, and I pay like top dollar, and I'm still having problems.
A lot of
I
traffic.
know.
A lot of traffic.
And here, Eric, when you told me the other night that your first game was in Ontario, I was thinking Canada. We have an Ontario in Canada. So I thought you were coming up this side of the border. I was all excited. Now you break my heart. It's California. So, but that's closer to me, probably.
Wait a minute. If it opens up and things open up like they hopefully we cross our fingers, she can always come down. She loves the Chargers, so she can always come down here and meet the guys. Philip, now he's going to stay probably where he's at, but there's a lot of Chargers down here, Joe, that we know, so you can sit there and say hi to them. No worries.
Sounds good. I would love to come watch Eric in his first game. That'd be awesome.
Eric, let me ask you this question. You mentioned being law enforcement, and the reason why I wanted to get Dante. Dante has done. Let me give you a little bit of background on Dante. He played MLB, a double two-time first round draft pick. He got drafted in the first round. I think he got drafted number 1 twice, and the second time he went into the MLB. But he came from a background, like you said, he's Long Beach. It's you had to survive. So you mentioned that earlier, living in New Jersey. I'm from Connecticut. I was born in Connecticut, New London. So I know the ways of streets out there and back east in general. And when people sit there, they say Connecticut, New Jersey, New York. It's like going from San Diego to LA to maybe Ventura. I mean, it's a 2-hour drive, and you're basically in every single state. So how was that? I mean, being in law enforcement and seeing what you saw, how did that change your perspective for the kids, like you're talking about, to help them out?
It is because I knew, and it was weird because I went to school with a lot of their parents. You understand? So just knowing their parents, I know what kind of background they came up in. And it just filtered down to the next generation of kids. So what I'm saying is, like, it had to be a better way. It had to be a better way. I'm seeing 16, 17-year-olds getting hit for 25 years.
Wow.
16, 17, your life is over. And again, I've been there for 11 years, and I'm just like, it got to be a better way. It got to be a better. I knew what his father was into when we was in high school. I knew what his mother was into when we was in high school. His uncle, her uncle, etc.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I'm not to mean to interrupt, because I've got 3 little kids. Joe's got kids, but doesn't it start at home, man? I mean, I was raised Italian. My mom and dad, and my dad especially, he's still alive. My mom passed away, but if I did something wrong, man, I got an ass whooping, and it wasn't, hey, go to your corner. Now I know when it's a single family or the parents are out working or they're in that environment, is that what's happening? Is that the kids don't have any kind of structure?
Nah, it's not even that. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I grew up with people that had 2-parent households, and they still sold more drugs in the pharmacy. You know what I mean? They had mom and dad with 9-to-5 jobs, and they was an only child, or it was only 2 kids in the house, and sold more drugs in the pharmacy. So it didn't matter. So a person gonna do what they want to do regardless. If it's in a relationship, at work, or whatever, a person gonna do what they want to do regardless, and that's what a lot of the things happen. But this day and age is so different. A lot of the juveniles, believe it or not, are the breadwinners of the home.
Really? Wow.
I've been in visitation situations where I'm hearing a conversation between a mother and a child, and the mother is telling him basically how he could have been a better criminal and not had got caught. So if you're home, if you're a parent and you're getting state assistance, you're on welfare, and your kid is running the streets doing carjackings, robberies, or selling drugs, and bringing home, from a carjacking, bringing home $6,000, you're not gonna question it. he gonna give you a couple dollars and then get back on his boat and keep doing what he's doing. So that couple dollars, that's gonna satisfy your thirst for the minute. You know what I mean? Until you start running low, and then he or she coming back, they doing the same thing. So it's a lot of that going on with the juveniles, the breadwinner of the home.
Wow.
That leaves me speechless. As a mother, I couldn't even imagine putting my child in that kind of harm, so that I could sit home and do nothing. Yeah, that blows my mind.
Let me. I want to peel back the layers a little bit. You think though, Eric, that it's the environment, the neighborhood, because obviously back east, everybody knows Italians. They the mob. You sit there. That's what everybody. I mean, Joe, and I don't know if you know, but obviously coming from Connecticut. Oh, Boston, Revere. You're involved in the mob. Is it because of the neighborhood that they grew up? That they're growing up in, and they didn't get a chance to go outside of that area, or is it? I'm just trying to figure out how does you're talking about carjacking, making $6,000, the same thing as in the guys that were Italian and same difference where they're going in there and they're bringing home a truckload of stolen TVs and they're bringing $7-8 grand in, and they're earners per se. So how do you get? I mean, how do you get them out of there? Do you put them in the sports area? Do you put them in something where they can sit there and have a future?
It's like when the streets is raising somebody, and that's a adult or a child, that's the streets. You because you're getting love and you're getting protection from so many different angles.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to leave it alone. The money is coming easy. The temptation is there. So when you get the money, what comes with the money? The young ladies. That's what comes with it. You start to dress a little different. You start to get yourself a little car. And school and everything else is secondary. So it's the allure of the jewelry, the young ladies, the cars. And once you get caught up in, it's hard to get out. So it's hard. Me at 16, 17, if I'm making $1,000 a day, it's hard for you to tell me to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and get ready for school because I got a test.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I could run ahead and get this money. So it's hard for you to tell me that. And especially if I'm bringing money in the house and say, here, Ma, go get your hair done.
Absolutely.
Only thing you can tell me is, hey, be careful. That's the only thing you can tell me. So it's different.
So Eric, the way out is what? Either you're arrested,
Right now, it seems like the way out is the best learning experience is for you to have a timeout. And that timeout, you might have to sit behind a cell for a minute. So sometimes that's the best learning experience for some people, adults and juveniles. You gotta sit down for 5 years. Maybe this will change your mind. Maybe the things that you're seeing behind the wall will change your mind. Some of these kids and adults don't realize when you're getting hit with 25 or 30 years, you're actually seeing a correctional officer come in for his or her first day and retiring on their last day. That doesn't settle in with them yet. So imagine you seeing me coming in on my first day, I'm a rookie, and you still there and you see me 25, 27 years later, and I'm retiring and you still there. But this is the life you chose. So maybe that's the time out you needed.
Now,
but I'm trying not to, I don't judge nobody. Who am I to judge? You understand what I'm saying? But it's like you can't judge somebody, on a future from their past. Maybe they past, they needed that experience to put them in that position to win for their future. So I'm just trying to give people a legitimate shot to be the best him or her that they can be. That's all I'm trying to do. Like, I don't want to be known for anything I did in football, any of my accomplishments, anybody who I did this with, was in pictures with, and I want to be known for helping this young man or this young lady get where they should have been in life. That's all I want to do.
I am proud of you. That's incredible. I absolutely love that, Eric. That is That is exactly, we need more people like you. Where can people find out more about your charity?
Oh, I'm getting it rolling now. I'm getting everything rolling now. All the paperwork and stuff. You know, I'm real accessible. You can just hit my inbox if you want to get any merch or whatever. I don't, you know, I ain't with all that selling. And you know, if you want, I'll throw it to you. You got it. Just let me know what the size is, and that's it. So, you know, of course, I got different colors and stuff like that. So, when COVID hit, we were supposed to start a lot of football camps, and so these were the shirts were what the kids were going to be wearing.
Right.
You know, it was an EC20 shirt, whatever color it was, with a 20 on the back, and that was my camp. That's how my camp was going to go, with a couple other former players as well.
I'll tell you, I love the logo. I don't know if you could stand up and show everybody the logo. I love that logo, man.
It's an amazing logo.
Yeah. I looked at that. I'm like, wow, man. it's almost
it's on the cover page. It's on the cover page of my Facebook page. So, you know, I'm just trying to give back where it's needed. That's all.
Eric, let me ask you this. You obviously, I know you haven't lived in the shell here, and you've seen what's going on in this world. Through the riots, through police officers killing people, through the pandemic that we've gone through. I read a stat today. One person dying every 6 minutes, and that's not because of somebody getting shot or cancer. That's because of the pandemic and the virus. How does that have? I mean, I know it's affected you and your business, and also with the charity side of it. But where do you see us on the other side when this is all over and done with? Are we going to be closer, united, and helping each other, or is it going to be more divided?
So let me say this. So because of the pandemic, I resigned in August, right? Scared the hell out of me. Since then, I've lost 4 former coworkers.
Oh, I'm
due to
so
COVID.
sorry.
Wow.
The most recent was about 3 weeks ago, and I have another coworker, another former coworker officer fighting it right now. It attacked his kidneys, so he needs and it's rough. So I just bowed out gracefully. I had to get up out of there and do what was best for me and my family. But as far as to answer your question, nah, it's not gonna change. It hasn't changed, for what, 40, 50 years now. So it's still gonna be the same. You know, if let's just say so and so is president, this group of people not gonna be happy. When Trump was president, you had this group of people not happy. It's not gonna change. So I don't see the medium of the person that can come in and just divide everything down the line and have everybody, kumbaya. It's never going to happen. Unfortunately, we can march, we could tweet, we could have all the rallies we want. It's not going to me. This is me talking. It's not going to happen. I just don't see it happen. I just don't.
You know what, Eric? I've got to agree with you 100%. And I'm a firm believer that you teach what you preach, and I teach my kids that doesn't matter what color skin you are. Being Italian, people say things, I don't care, in one ear and out the other. Be a leader, not a follower. A lot of these people that you see things that they're doing, sometimes I wonder if they're just trying to get attention. They're crying out for attention. To go and march on the Capitol and destruct it and say it's for your president. I don't see that. I see that's, and I say, and people are gonna probably hate me for saying this, but you can't take the ignorance out of people if they don't want to change their mindset. And I have a different way of saying it, the street way, but I won't say it online because obviously I get a whole bunch of people jumping on me. But you know what I'm talking about. If you're street smart, you got common sense. Common sense prevails. Someone's going to tell me that, I believe in God. I do believe in God. But I've used this line a lot of times. If you're going to believe in God and you always go back on that God situation and you go on a plane and you jump out of a plane without a parachute, God ain't going to save your ass. You know what I mean? It ain't going to happen. You've got to use common sense. So that being said, I think that, you know what, we just have to sit there and keep our kids, as long as they understand that, what's going on in this world right now, which I never thought I would ever see. I've seen racial division in school. I've seen it when I lived back east. I've seen it, where I live here. Is it going to change? It's got to change, slowly but surely. But you can't change it overnight.
I've deleted, and it's crazy. I got love for everybody, man. I got love for everybody. I've deleted so many people from my Facebook because of the things they might have said, how they went live, and just things that I didn't agree with. I mean, that's your right. That's my right. So I just deleted it and erased it. I don't need that kind of energy, following me or whatever. So I deleted maybe upwards to almost 40 people when all this stuff really started cracking like that.
Absolutely. I had to do the same. And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I was shocked by some of the people that I had to delete.
Yeah.
I was blown away. And I did not know they had such dramatic different views than me. And I don't know, it was extreme views where I cannot believe people would think that about other humans. It's unbelievable. And I'm glad you did that, because unless we do something and we don't just sit back and let it happen, nothing's going to change.
Hey guys, let me. So everybody knows we're listening to SoCal Smackdown. Myself, Dante Powell, the great Joe Mann, and we got the special guest Eric Child. We appreciate it, Dante. I don't know. We've had some technical difficulty. We apologize. We want to hear from you, man, because you know what? This is a subject that we've all talked about. So I don't know if you can hear me and ask some questions. Fire away, bud.
Hey, man, Eric, it's an honor to have you on our show, man.
What's up, brother? Good to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Real honor. A lot of good stuff I missed on, earlier, but, just from the gather, we're just talking about, some of the issues that are going on in the world. Two parties fighting against one. We talk about democracy. Democracy was actually built to fail, if certain principles weren't activated, and they stay activated and present within the democracy. A lot of those you've seen, so especially with the family, especially with God. Yeah, Tony, you're right. No stupid ass is going to jump out of an airplane with a parachute. That's suicide. So having faith is believing in God. And with faith, just faith as a mustard seed can move mountains. And I'm a proven testimony of that. Just like Mr. Childs played in the NFL, I played in the MLB, ups and downs. And right now I'm learning and understanding, the natures of lives, and becoming wiser. I take my hat off for you, Mr. Childs, for doing a lot of community service, especially hope police officer work. I hope you can shed some light in the community, especially with our people, and other things that you're doing. So good job, man. Hats out to you, Long Beach. That's what's.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. It's funny that you mentioned MLB, because I was in high school. I was actually coached by a MLB star, Mr. Bo Porter. Bo was
we can do
the
all.
manager.
Bo's a great dude.
Yeah, that was my coach. Bo coached me in basketball. Bo played football for us. Bo the reason why I couldn't win number 2, because they retired it. So I just added a 0 to it and made it 20.
Yeah, tell Bo Porter Dante Powell said hello.
Sure, I will.
Hey, Dante, I don't know if you caught when Eric was saying that he's going to be coming out our way in Ontario. He's starting with the Arena League, right? They're going to be doing the first game out here?
Yeah, the first game is April 5th. It's going to be out there in Ontario against the Ontario Bandits, New Jersey Flight.
Yeah, so, that's what's up. We're going to make that.
So how far away is that from you guys?
Dante, go ahead and answer that.
Ontario's about 40 minutes away from me. It's about 40 minutes away from me.
You guys are going to be here and I'm going to be in Canada.
Yeah, it's about 2.5 hours away from me, about 40 minutes from Dante. It depends. It depends if I'm driving my Pinto or if I'm driving my other
So,
car.
so, so a fun fact about Ontario, their head coach is also NFL alumni, Patrick Johnson. He played for the Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals. That's their head coach. So yeah, it should be a good party out there come April.
I'm jealous. I wish I could come. That's going to be a lot of fun. And you guys are going to win, of course.
Oh, most definitely. Coach Foster going to have that team up, man, all the way up. All the way up.
I love it. Love it. Well, I really think, Tony, you and Dante better be there. So you better represent.
I'll take the ride, man. We pick up Gallo. We got a couple. We get Stephanie. Get Vinny. Hell, we'll have a bus. We'll bring a bus up there. Why not? Hey, we can sit there and do it. We'll hook up, right, Dante?
Yes, sir.
Dante's still got. He promised me a pair of those. Dante's got a clothing line also. He's got a killer logo. I like that logo that he's got. Show us your logo, Dante.
Pal Sports Apparel. I don't know if you can really see it. Pal Sports Apparel.
We can see it. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we've been going since about 2017. And what we are, we're an apparel company, and what the apparel company is attached to, Eric. I do a mentoring program. It's called Be the Best You Can Mentoring Program. So, what we do, I built the business, Pal Sports Apparel, which, as much money as we make doing Pal Sports Apparel, now we can throw it back into the BBYCB mentoring program. So now we can buy uniforms, supplement, parents, travel ball teams, put kids in competitive environments now. So baseball's another tricky deal. The numbers, especially for participants, are low. So now we're trying to get that up, especially through all the board. Bo will tell you about it, and we're coming. Yeah. So it's a real good deal.
Definitely, man.
I think that's something that you guys could sit there and I think that'd be a great thing to get hooked up on that. And I wanted to bring up the fact of obviously playing football. You mentioned Vinny Testaverde, a couple of guys. And there's somebody that really stood out for you when you played, or you're going as a mentor that really.
Wayne Corbett did, and I'm gonna tell you why. Wayne Corbett is what I call all natural. Wayne, and I say that because Wayne came from a small school. Wayne came from Hofstra. It wasn't a real big known university like that. And thing is with Wayne, why I call Wayne all natural, Wayne never used gloves. Never.
You're the hell of a player.
All just raw hands in the cold, everything. So coming out of high school, that's how I was. I never used gloves at all. As soon as I get to college, I want to look pretty. I want to have white gloves. I want to have this. It threw me off. It messed me up. It messed my coordination up. So by the time I took the gloves off, now I couldn't catch as good with them off. It threw me off. But Wayne really stood out to me. Wayne had heart.
I love that. So being on the sidelines working with the Jets, what's your most memorable experience there?
I guess it was alumni day, just seeing everybody from Joe Namath to Curtis Martin to Wesley Walker. That's my good friend. Me and Wesley have done many events together. Just all the greats from the Super Bowl team to some of the current teams. That was a great day. I think that was like 2 years ago against the Jags. I want to say it was actually Kevin Mawade. I think Kevin got his ring of honor that day.
Hey Eric, were you there when LT played for the Jets? The Damian Thompson?
That was Mark Sanchez team. Mark Sanchez, Braylon Edwards, that was all of them. I was going.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna sit there and say because that's got to be. There was a lot of guys that
How was
went
Mark
through that.
Sanchez as a player?
Mark was a
How'd you like
comedian.
Mark Sanchez as a teammate?
I was never a teammate of Sanchez. I was with Pennington and Testaverde.
Oh, okay, that's right. You go way back. That's right.
But Sanchez was
Testaverde's a hell of a quarterback.
yeah.
Italian.
Sanchez was a comedian. He was a little jokester a lot of times. He always
Yeah.
played around a lot of times. Believe it or not.
Hey,
That was Rex's boy, though.
Right.
Can I throw something,
That was Rex's boy.
Can I throw something out to you and Dante?
Right.
I know you guys got that.
Hey, we might know somebody. You know.
I know you got the apparel line.
Yeah, he
going
might
on,
know
right?
the Collins brothers.
So Dante, we talked about this. Now that we got Eric on the line, if you guys ever need
Hey, what's so funny, Tony? What you talking about?
wait, if you ever need a plus size model to model any of your clothes, I'm there. For free. No worries, man. I'll take care of it.
Yes, that West Coast love. I need that.
You got it, brother.
Take care of it.
Joe, fire away.
Yes. Oh, you guys have me stumped. You just put me on the spot right there. I was still laughing at thinking about you modeling the clothes for them. You're just throwing that out there. And I was like, hey, I can do it in Canada because, I love both their logos. So
I've been trying to get Dante to give me a pair of leggings. I told him I'd wear them. He's like, yeah, why not? He said, I said, do they make my size? He goes, don't worry, they stretch.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about this logo right here, man. I went to school with a childhood friend. His name is David and Jason Collins. They are two martial art experts, and their family comes from a martial art of experts. So I've gone to school with them. That's seventh grade. David is actually my business partner in this, who made our logo a time ago. He actually knows somebody from the Jets. So that's interesting. Logos are similar, but not the same.
Absolutely. I love both the logos. They're incredible. I would totally represent both your logos anytime. Eric, can you tell me 10-year goal?
Oh, 10-year goal. So I actually started my 10-year goal when I left jail in August. So I was pursuing my physical therapy license, and my goal was to open up my own facility, mainly towards athletes, high school, college, and pro. So the facility is going to be built with everything that you need. If you play basketball, I got a basketball court in there. If you play football, I got a 30-yard turf field in there. So if you play baseball, I got a batting cage in there. So that was my goal, but that has to be put on pause for about maybe the next 6 months because I'm about to have rotator cuff surgery on the 25th. So I had to pause that, but it's definitely in the making, and that's what it is for me.
I love that. All the best with your rotator cuff surgery. I hope it goes well. I know you guys have great specialists down there in the States, great medical care. So I hope it goes really well for you.
Yep.
I had that. It was a bitch. I ain't gonna lie.
You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say it's awesome. It's easy.
I speak the truth. I speak the truth because you know what? I had it done 2019, and the first, because I had my rotator labrum and in my bicep all done, and the first 6 weeks, I swear to God, it felt like someone. I'm not gonna lie to you, Eric, felt like someone with an ice pick in there. Then all of a sudden, the doctor told me, he said, "Hey Tony, it's gonna take about 8 weeks. You'll sit there and feel like you could sit there and start throwing, doing push-ups." He was right, and I started doing that, but I hurt myself even more because my mind said, "Hey, it feels good." When the doctor said, "No, it takes about 8 months to really heal." Now, a lot better. I still, I worry about it, but if you got to get it done, you got to get it done because the pain's excruciating. I mean, you know that.
Definitely. Yeah, I think I got about like 4 tears in there.
Ooh. Yeah.
Is that from playing football or what is that from?
Yeah, that was like something that I should have took care of, but I took care of it. Yeah.
Mine was, I won't tell you. Mine was that was a different show.
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. This is the dominant arm. This is the dominant arm.
Hey, Eric, dude, mine's right. You know what? Hey, now my left is pretty good.
You got a hernia to go with it, huh?
Yeah.
Lord, thank you. Hey, I prayed the right was kind of lit, but then the left, I'm like, holy cow. But see what happened. You got to make sure, I'm being a doctor, you got to make sure you keep your square, because if it start tilting, then it's different. It doesn't, not the same. I love you, Eric. Hey, Dante and I, we talk. Dante, you know what I'm talking about, brother. I'm still trying to sit there and see if I can.
No, man, I'm still trying to figure you out. I just met you not too long ago. I want to come down to San Diego and beat your ass sometime.
You can do that. Hey, all you do is
Long Beach. You better get it right, Eric.
oh man. Hey, Eric. So you've obviously done. I mean, you're an inspiration to sit there for the kids, trying to help the kids out, and I'm glad. I know with the COVID, it's probably set you back a lot. What's the biggest hurdle right now? I mean, besides the pandemic, that you're trying to sit there and get to that goal that you really want to get to?
I'm just trying to get this physical therapy license and knock that out so I can just kind of sit back and just enjoy my business and pretty much let that run itself while I do my community work and things like that. So that was my main goal.
What kind of therapy?
Physical
therapy. Okay.
Yeah, physical. Yeah. And so like I said, I just want that to go ahead and run itself so I can do what I need to do within the community and work it like that.
No, I wish the best for you. Dante, fire away some questions, brother.
Nah, man. I mean, I think Eric is really on the same page of, kind of how we grew up and what he's doing now. Coming from, where he grew up back east. And I like the Maryland story, him going to Maryland. Some real cats that grew up in Maryland, like, Kevin Durant, what's his name? Beasley, always into some shit. Dupogula that played
always into some shit.
Man.
Hey, but I can't say their names right now. Forget their names, but it's some real cats out there. They think this is funny. It's funny.
No,
so it's some real cats. It's some real cats in Maryland, and it's a real problem in Maryland. Basketball, football. You think when you walk into Maryland, you're gonna be the best player to be out there. But they got some real cats, just like Long Beach. We got the number one ever to play in the NFL. Okay, Willie McGinnis, Deshaun Watson, Juju Smith, who's already there. Don't let me go on and on with the role. And then you talk about baseball and goes on and on. So I'm fruitful. I know exactly what we're talking about when it comes from a land of athletes and a land of balling. This is what made me from Long Beach. And now that's why I'm having mentoring programs. And I was a part of this show to be serious about my mentoring programs and really get the message out there. Really have a good show, talking about the lineups, talking about what Joe's a perfectionist in. She's unbelievable at the line, telling about football, helping other people out. I wanted this show to be about something, okay? So, as we get to a serious point, and now that everything's not bouncing around, let's get back and stay. So I'm really proud, Mr. Childs, Eric, that you're on the show and you're doing some really good work out there.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm gonna tell you a quick story real quick, how I became a victim of everything that I'm trying to prevent. So when COVID hit, it kind of like set me back because I had the school supplies ready. I had them already. As COVID was going on, I had the school supplies. So my back to school giveaway was kind of canceled. So in my truck, I had upwards to almost 120 book bags packed and prepared. And this is a dead ass serious story. Prepared. So they're sitting in my vehicle. Plus I had like loose stuff or whatever. My vehicle was in Newark. I stopped by to take care of some business in Newark. Son just told me to look out the window. I looked out the window, vehicle's gone. So not only did my vehicle get stolen, it got stolen by a juvenile that I knew that gained access to my keys.
So
you
guys, I have to tell you, I didn't tell you before. Remember, Eric was going to be on our show a couple of months back. This was why he wasn't on the show, and I didn't say it. I'm so sorry this happened to you. It would have been heartbreaking.
So I'm not the vehicle. I wasn't where I'm insured. My insurance is good, but I'm just upset because it was somebody I knew who was in the same house that I was visiting at the time, and stole my keys out of the key bowl and was just gone. And never recovered any of the school supplies. I don't care about the money that was in there. I don't care about my vehicle. My vehicle was insured, but this is what I'm trying to prevent. And you know, people around the city knew that was my vehicle. So a couple days later, a friend of mine who I went to school with actually called me. He said, "Yo, I know where your vehicle at, blah, blah, blah." I came there, it was all crashed up, put two and two together, and found out who took the vehicle. You know,
wow.
So I was furious. I wanted to send him to jail and everything like that, but I sat down, spoke with his mother, worked out a deal, and that's how that went.
Sometimes the people that
the
people that you help and the ones that you open up to the most are the ones that kind of let you down. And what Dante was talking about earlier about being serious, yeah, you know, we joke around, but it's the truth. We're trying to help people out and giving not a hand out, but trying to help each other. That's what we talked about earlier in the show. And said, you know what? How can we sit there and do that in as a community and also as an individual, because it starts with you. And I'm a firm believer of that. And I mean, if you sit there and you teach good, and you teach love, and you teach empathy and laughter. I've always been, no offense, Eric, Dante, Joe, I've always been a laughing type of guy because I want to make not light of the situation, but I want to sit there and keep, how do I say, instead of being angry, because some people get angry and they hold it inside. I want to sit there and say, hey, you know what? It's okay to laugh and sit there and but be serious too, because there's things in life that need to be taken care of. And this is not a joking situation. This is something serious.
Definitely, and like I was talking about earlier, it's to some of the younger kids is the allure of certain things. So his excuse when finally caught up to him was, oh, you know, it was a nice vehicle. I wanted to go see this young lady I was talking to, and I was going to bring it back. So I'm like, you don't understand what could have happened. You could have hit somebody. You could have killed somebody. You could have killed yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You don't think about it, you know, until it happens. But I'm just glad and grateful everything, you know, it worked out.
Yeah, man, that's a beautiful story. It's funny, in Long Beach, I kind of have a similar one. You know, kind of the same thing, you know, youngster. But in Long Beach, it's a little bit different. And Tony would tell you because, you know, you have a really heavy Hispanic, you know, and a heavy black presence. And a lot of times we're enemies. So, you know, I'm staying in a place and man, I had all these groceries, you know, me and my ex, or, you know, we had all these groceries and I stuck the keys in the door, took all the groceries in and I closed the door, left the keys in the door. So found out just through the cameras, you know, that who took the keys out my door is this little Vato, you know, little homeboy, little loc from around, you know, and took my Mustang on a joyride. Ended up on the west side over here, you know. His mama's a single mom, you know. He's been like in and out of jail, you know. He's trying to do good, and you know, I see his mama, you know, walking through the hallway. She's really nice, sweet, just trying to do the right thing, you know. And man, I found out what was happening. And then finally one day I finally saw homeboy. But instead of going street politics, instead of going police route and the whole another, whole whatever ways we could have went with this, I told him, I said, man, I saw him and I pulled him aside. I said, hey, man, I know you got me for my car, but I can't call the kettle black because I've done some shit in my life too, and I'm making some changes for myself. And a lot of us, have gone through and never gotten chances. I said, here's your chance with me. I said, even though we're on the other side of the tracks and we're getting down, this is my name. I told him who I was, blah, blah, blah. And I tell you what, and you probably saw the same thing too, the effect on that. Now, this kid now is rolling with the job, okay, supporting his children, okay, doing the things that he needs to do. Okay, I could have went a whole nother route, called some homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Caught him up in the streets, you know what I'm saying? Him and his boys. Now we just put flame on the fire, right? But now what I did, I put a tender approach. And that tender approach, now it's a different respect barrier. And that's what it's all about. You know that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Salute you on that, brother. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely could have went another way.
Well, there's always, and I try to teach this to my kids. There's always many ways to skin a cat. And Dante, I gotta, give you kudos because you're right. You could have went what most people would do is the anger route, the revenge route, and as well as I do, Dante, the route where that kid could have been in a lot more trouble. Never mind the police in situations, but you went the route saying, hey, you know what? Maybe, I don't know what he's going through, and you found out and you helped him out and you changed him for the better. And hopefully that helps him down the line where if he gets in a situation like that, he remembers what Dante did and he'll help some other child or someone that he can help.
Well, let me correct you. I knew exactly what he was going through. You know what I'm saying? It was just a different race. You know what I mean? And even though he might have been what we call so-called enemies out there, that's actually my brother, black and brown. You know what I mean? Yeah. And instead of me retaliating in a certain way, I handled the situation differently to hopefully bring some light on who we are. Because we're powerful in Long Beach United. You know that.
I know that too. He's not lying. I know that. Long Beach, they're strong.
I'm proud of you. Yeah, I'm proud of you, Dante. Thank you.
Well, I think what you do, Dante, and with the kids, and obviously the people that we've set there and the doors that have opened up, unbelievable. Eric, same thing with you. I know how hard it is just being back east side of it. It's difficult, not only with the weather, but the people. They're different. It's a different mentality. So many kudos out to you, man. And we truly appreciate you coming on. Joe, we've got a couple more minutes. Dante, tell us how we can get a hold of you, what you're doing, what we want to sit there and bring it around, and then I'll close it out, guys.
Dante first?
Well, yeah. Well, bottom line, Mr. Eric Childs, man, it was an honor having you on here, big dog, for real. Like you, to get to know you. I have a absolutely wonderful mentoring program. We're trying to expand even East Coast to here. Tony has your contacts. I would love to get in contact with you out some information on, PAL Sports Apparel, and then also our BBYCB mentoring programs as well. Hopefully you can be a resource of help. We could help each other. I could be reached at BBYCB at palsportsapparel.com. Or you can reach me on that social media sites, Facebook and Instagram. And then also too on Facebook, I have a website. And then on my website, palsportsapparel.com, go ahead and subscribe. Say hello. Get back to you.
Yes, sir, brother.
Joe?
Eric, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. People like you are what inspires me daily. I draw such strength from what you do, what Dante does, the help that you give the kids, and it gives so much light to our community. So thank you so much. I can't wait to follow you over the next 10 years, see you reach all your goals. I know you're going to do everything. So thank you from the bottom of my heart again for coming on today. If you guys are looking to reach me, you can reach me on all social media platforms at the Joe Madden.
Eric?
I'm real simple with it. First of all, I'd like to thank y'all for inviting me. This was cool. I had a lot of fun. Joe, it's been a long time in the making, definitely. Dante, brother, listen, we definitely need to get something going. And it ain't nothing for me to catch a flight, come out there and hook up with you. You know what I mean? I appreciate it. And just everything. You guys just having me, I appreciate it. I'm real accessible on social media. I'm my name, Eric Childs, on Facebook. I don't got Instagram for a reason. I don't got Instagram.
Oh, you're missing out on so much on my Instagram.
I don't know Instagram. I don't know about all these.
Got it.
I don't know about all these platforms.
Yeah, but you can just hit me up on Facebook. I'm real accessible, Eric Childs, and whatever you want to know, just hit me up. I answer right back, so it ain't no problem.
Eric, my heartfelt to you. Obviously, I couldn't be more blessed to have you on, and obviously hosting the show with Joe and Dante. We've got. They know how I feel. They're family. You're part of our family now, so thank you for coming on. SoCal Smackdown every Thursday, 4:30. Streaming live on StreamYard, powered by Staples Media. I always end up. By the way, if you want to get a hold of me at TRusso64, my Instagram page or my Facebook page, Tony Russo. I don't hide from anybody. People know that. But I always try to end up the show with kind of a positive thought. And today I was thinking about a couple things, and I wrote down. A lot of people talk about words make a difference. And I don't believe it's words. I believe it's action. When you say I love you, you got to show it. It's not with the big gestures, buying the diamond rings, the cars, and stuff like that. It's about the small gestures sometimes. And when I say small gestures, I try to tell my kids this. Sometimes you pick up a basketball, you play with a child, or you take the trash out for grandma or grandpa. You send a card, but you make that card. You don't buy it. Make it and send it, put a stamp on it, and say, I love you. That to me means 10 times more than, writing I love you or sitting there words. I always said action. And we live in a society that it's instant gratification. And I think if we teach not only our kids, but people ourselves, if we teach this, that gratification is not instant. You have to work hard to get to where you want. You didn't become a football player because somebody snapped their fingers and said, Eric, Dante, you didn't become a two-time first rounder because, you're Dante. No, you worked your ass off to get there. Joe, you worked your ass off to get where you're at. So that being said, anybody that's listening out there, if you believe, you can do it, but it's not instant. You got to work at it, and you got to sit there and have a heart, and you got to truly, truly mean it and not sit there and say one thing and do another thing. That being said, guys, I love all of you. Thank you. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Eric, Dante, Joe, have a wonderful week, and we'll be back next Thursday, guys. So have a great night and enjoy your family and friends. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Dante. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
See you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Later.